It's time for us to delve into the world of books with our very own Audrey Chirenje. Good morning, lady in blue.
Good morning, Marissa, lady in nude.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Good. Now we're discussing this book from Herbert Tangai Dickson Chiweshe. And just looking at the cover of this book, it already screams hilarious.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Let me just say congrats to Herbert. This is a funny book.
I think we have the shot.
It's a funny book. It's full of humor, full of nyambo. You know, Kudara and Shona, we call it nyambo. You know, it's a compilation of short stories, 12 of them. You just can't put this book down. Well done for such an amazing light read.
And I know you know, when you speak that way about a book, Audrey, it gets me wanting to read it. So it's worth it. Tell us about these short stories, because I do know that there's kind of topics that we can pull out from each short story that he's written about.
Okay, so in line with the themes, we've got another story, Lessons Foiled Rape. So this one, you've got a youngster, you know, like at the local, what you call it?
Market or store.
Yes, Kumagrosa,
yeah.
You know, like growth points, sort of a setup like that. He gets interested in this one woman who also offers other services, but he's young, but he's also a church boy, by the way, and he had just given amazing testimony at church. But then, you know, his blood gets hot and he just can't contain himself.
Temptation.
Yeah, and the lady is called My Day. I found that also very funny because some people will associate that name with those other activities. But just to cut the long story short, yeah, one thing leads to another, and then My Day's mother comes in.
Yeah.
And then it ends up with My Day's aunt coming to this young man's house. You know, back in the day, you could just not touch any other woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they demand that he marries
this woman.
Yes.
So these short stories, are they connecting into each other, or is just a different...
Some of them, they do connect to each other. Like, we do find My Day in another story, but some of them are actually detached.
Is it? Yes. Okay, so now we talk about this, the foiled rape, and what other lesson can we pick up?
We also have unwanted pregnancy. I think this is very rampant in our society. Then there are preventable accidents. I found interesting that he wrote Herbert Chiweshe wrote his own foreword at the beginning of the book. Most people will find someone famous writing a foreword for them.
Yeah.
But he wrote his own foreword. And it's a story about an accident with the lamp posts, you know? Yeah. In his, you know, he's coming from the night, has had a few beers, and then he has an accident with the lamp post, you know, that pole close to his gate. And in the dialogue, he says, I swear, this lamppost moved, you know? It moved towards me, and that's how the accident happened. So like I was saying, it's very funny the way he writes his stories. And you can tell he's very learned. That British Old English.
Right.
That's
you did say he's 68.
Yeah, he's around that age. He's a farmer based in Chegutu. He's also a poet, and you can also tell the love of poetry. He's won a couple of accolades in the poetry world, featured on other newspapers and other shows, but you can tell he loves poetry. If you look at the last story, it's about a story whereby, you know, high school, a young boy wants to ask out a certain lady, yeah? And then he writes a letter. Yeah, you can
I used to write lots of letters.
Yeah, so you can find it. It's a very last story.
This is the...
And then, but however, this girl also likes this guy. So she doesn't give the actual person who's supposed to get the letter. She then replies it. So it's going to Pretty, but then she replies pretending to be Pretty. And then to cut the long story short, she ends up going out with Pretty. Yeah, so I found that very funny. He also put his love of poetry.
Yeah, you can actually see in some of these stories.
You can even read just a snippet.
Which one am I going to read now? The letter, do you want me to read the reply of the letter? It says,
yes.
Can't think of anything else but you. I have picked you from the rest of the campus. Your beauty is a marvel. I'm always stealing glances at you. I hope you have noticed. I shall not waste time. How would you like to be my girl? My only girl. Please don't tell me someone got there before me. That would really puncture my heart. Reply by same order. I love you a lot.
You see now. So he's a man of many talents. And then there's another story about attempted suicide. Just like with our culture, you know, like someone impregnates a girl, they go to their house, and then the parents take full responsibility for that. I don't know why we think it's a shame that, I don't know, but the mother thinks she's been shamed. She's a member of the church. She serves the church, and she can't bear the shame of her son impregnating
someone else.
Yes.
A woman.
And she actually attempts suicide.
The girl who's pregnant.
The
mother.
Yes.
Why would you? Yeah, you mean you're asking why would people be shamed by that? Could it be that maybe they didn't do it right? Like you get married first and then have a baby.
I understand.
Or if you're 16 and the girl is 15.
I understand that, and I like the way he brought it through in this book, because we need to talk about these things. Yes, this has happened and this happens, but must we then take drastic measures? I mean, with things like that.
Too much.
Because yes, you know, in Shona they say, meaning you can only criticize other people's children if you don't have children. Because if you have children, you can be my pastor and your daughter will do the funniest of things
for you.
Yes, but there's no need to, you know, self-discriminate and even go to the extent of thinking of suicide.
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. Now, another one is stream bank irrigation. So I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, what's stream bank irrigation?
All right. So I know, like, back in the day, you know how it is, like, let's take an example of the urban areas. We've got these lots of land where people are not supposed to cultivate anything.
Okay.
Yes, but then you find that there'll be plants there and whatnot. And I remember in college I had a friend. She grew up in Bluffhill, total salad, but she'd be like, "My mom, kumunda, and then you'd end up going there. And some people would actually plant a lot and actually take the maize to the GMB.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's actually a lot. I still have. I grew up in Mablerain, and you know, you'd have the small plots in the houses, but there's not enough land for munda. Sakataito tendelela nekuseri ku Jurewall, cross the gate, and then actually have an open space, Tijito Sakura and stuff like that. Probably where my love for farming started. So we do know. I know a lady who still does sugar beans, actually in her plot, and she sells it off Kumbare.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's good.
It's good. It's part of the hustle. So I think, like I said, Herbert is actually a farmer based in Chigutu, so he put all the things he loves in his writing. But I was just discussing earlier that, you know what, if it hadn't been for this, I would have never known that there's an author called Herbert.
How did you come across this thing?
He actually reached out to me.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, so he's done, I think this is his 5th book. He's done so much. I was looking on him on Facebook, but then people don't know about him.
Yeah.
So
well, it's good that he's reached out to you. And I think if you have also written a book out there, you can reach out to Audrey. Audrey, your name is just Audrey Chirenje on all your social media platforms.
Yes.
And it's very easy. And she's so passionate about books, guys. She really will put you on the map. And I know that you're going to do that for Herbert as well.
Yes. So I was even, from the discussion, we actually need to do more. I'm very grateful to Zim Papers and Zetian for this platform. They've been showcasing a lot of local authors. Some are based in Germany, South Africa, so they can't come in person, but we review the books for them. And then even this, I think we now need to even go maybe to the newspapers, Radio Zimbabwe, and then just make a call to the authors to just come forward.
We've got a radio presenter also in here, so she's going to give a shout out. Right. Okay, so tell us just briefly about Herbert, just before we close. Where do we find him? Where do we find this book? How much is it?
Okay, so the book is $10, and Herbert realized his dream in 2020 when he published his first book. And like I said, he's contributed to a lot of poem anthologies, and is found on Facebook, Herbert T.D. Chiweshe, or his pen name is Jindadzi. You see, he's very deep.
Yeah, Jindadzi.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and the publishers for this book is Essential Publishing Company, based in Norton. I applaud Alec. He's been really showcasing another bunch of authors with his publishing company.
That's Alec Kaposa?
Yes.
All right, that's brilliant. So $10 for this book. We find it from Herbert.
Yes, and also
himself,
the publisher.
And
for
also
now.
the publisher for
but
now.
Herbert,
Social media?
Social media name is Herbert T.D. Chiweshe. I think I'm just appealing to all the authors. This is one of the things people keep on asking me. We need to get our books in other bookstores, because for us to keep on looking for the publisher or the author is actually very difficult. So put it on Amazon if you can. Get in touch with other book outlets or even other shops, you know.
And you can walk around in town. There's many bookshops that you can just say, hey, I've got a book.
Just make the book accessible. And also to people who can help in the distribution of books. Please help us to distribute this amazing local literature.
Konapo Konapo, Ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.